Hey everybody, welcome back to Bravo Horror Stories. It's early evening on March 13th, 2025, and the shadows are stretching long, perfect for a tale that'll make you lock your doors and eye your pets suspiciously. Today, we're unraveling the legend of the Hong Kong Halmae, or Hong Kong Grandma, a South Korean ghost story that's more than just whispers. It's a nightmare that supposedly hit the evening news. This isn't your cozy granny with a knitting needle. It's a drenched, half-feline spirit born from tragedy, vengeance, and a plane crash that fused her soul with something uncanny. Grab your blanket, or a flashlight if you're watching this at night, and let's dive into the terror. Imagine this. You're walking home along a quiet Korean riverbank. The moon's a sliver casting jagged reflections on the water. Fog curls around your ankles, thick and cold. And your cat, a scruffy stray you've been feeding, pads silently beside you. Then you hear it. Drip, 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 like a faucet left running, but there's no pipe in sight. You turn, and there she is, 20 feet away, an old woman, soaked through, her hanbok clinging to her frail frame. Half her face is human, wrinkled, pale, with a pitch-black eye staring through you. The other half, it's a cat's, fur matted with river muck, a glowing amber eye, and a snarl of sharp teeth. That's Hong Kong Halmae, and she's not here to purr. Your cat hisses, arches its back, and she's suddenly 10 feet closer, her clawed hand twitching. You blink, and she's gone. But the dripping follows you home. Where did she come from? The tale starts in 1978. She was a Korean grandmother living in Hong Kong, a widow who toiled for decades in a cramped garment factory to send money home. Her name's lost to time, but they called her Halmae, Grandma, because of her gentle voice and the way she'd sneak scraps to stray cats on the docks. Her one joy was her grandson back in Busan, a little boy she hadn't seen since he was a baby. After years of saving, she booked a flight on Korean Airlines, clutching a stuffed cat toy for him, dreaming of his smile. But fate had other plans. The plane, a Boeing 707, hit turbulence over the Sea of Japan. Witnesses on a fishing boat later swore they saw it spiral, flames licking the wings, before it plunged into the icy waves. All 104 passengers perished, including Halmae. The evening news ran the story for days. Tragic crash claims lives, no survivors. But here's where it twists. Divers found wreckage, but no bodies. And among the debris, a soaked, shredded cat toy floating alone. Locals whispered that Halmae's spirit refused to rest. Her love for her grandson and her bond with those Hong Kong strays fused in death. They say a feral cat, a black one with one amber eye, crawled from the crash site onto a rescue boat, dripping wet and hissing. Somehow, her soul latched onto it, merging into a half-human, half-feline wraith. She drifted back to Korea, drawn by the grandson she'd never reach, her rage and grief twisting her into something monstrous. Hong Kong Halmae's not your average ghost. She's a hybrid horror, blending urban legends with a feline edge. Here's what people claim they've seen. The Fisherman's Terror, Busan, 1980s. A fisherman was hauling nets at dawn when he saw her on the water's surface, half her face snarling like a drowned cat, the other half frozen in a human scream. Her hanbok trailed seaweed, and her clawed hand dragged something under the waves. He blinked. She was on his boat, dripping, her amber eye glowing. He floored it to shore, hearing a low yowl over the engine. His catch that day? Dead fish with claw marks gouged into their sides. The driver's hitchhiker, Incheon, 2015. A cabbie picked up an old woman near the docks on a stormy night. She smelled of wet fur and salt water, her face hidden under a hood. He glanced in the rear view. Half her face was feline, teeth bared. She pointed ahead, silent, as water pooled in the back seat. He swerved, checked again. She was gone, but claw marks scarred the upholstery. Later, he found a news clipping in the glove box about the 78 crash, dated the day she appeared. The Grandson's Haunting, Busan, 2020. A man, some say Halmae's grown grandson, lived alone near the coast. One night, he woke to dripping and a shadow at his window. Her, half cat, half grandma, clawing the glass. He bolted upright. She was inside, at his bedside, whispering his childhood nickname in a guttural purr. He fled, but neighbors found wet paw prints circling his house, and a shredded photo of him as a boy, clutched by a woman no one recognized. What makes her so terrifying? Picture this. A hunched figure, her handbox sodden and torn, water streaming from her like she's dissolving. Half her face is a grandmother's, gaunt, mournful, with a black void for an eye. The other half's a cat's, matted fur, a slitted pupil glowing amber, whiskers twitching as she scents you. She doesn't float or moan. She, silent as a predator, appearing closer every time you blink. Her claws glint like wet steel, and her human mouth twists into a grin while the feline side hisses. One hiker near the Nakdong River vanished after texting, saw an old lady with a cat face by the water. They found his phone, recording a low yowl and dripping, then silence. She's not just a ghost, she's a hunter, fused with a cat's relentless instinct. Her story's laced with urban legend threads, twisted into something feral, the vanishing hitchhiker's curse. Like the classic tale, she appears to drivers or boaters, dripping, silent, half feline. But she doesn't vanish to spook you, she marks you. One trucker, who gave her a lift, found claw marks on his rig, and his cat at home dead, drowned in a dry room. The killer in the back seat claws. She's not hiding with a blade, she's just her amber eye glinting in your rear view, her human hand stroking the seat while her claws tap the glass. A woman swore she locked her car, only to find Halmae inside, purring a lullaby from her childhood. The cursed toy trap. That stuffed cat toy from the crash? Some say it's still out there, washing up on shores. A kid in Seoul found it in 2019, took it home, then saw her at his window, half her face mewling for it back. He burned it. The dripping never stopped. These aren't just echoes. They're her weapons, sharpened by feline fury and a grandmother's grief. She's not stuck in the past. In 2021, a Busan teen posted on X, saw a cat-faced old lady outside my 12th floor window last night. Rain everywhere. His blurry pic showed a figure pressed to the glass, water streaking down, one amber eye glaring. He vanished days later. The post went viral, hitting evening news with Flight 707 ghost resurfaces. Then, in 2024, a vlogger filmed a storm drain in Daegu, daring her to show. The footage caught a shape, half human, half cat, crawling from the grate, claws scraping concrete. The clip cut off. The vlogger's cat went missing. She's in cities now. Drains, puddles, even your sink if it drips right. Set the scene. You're alone by a river, fog choking the air, your cat weaving between your legs. That starts, joined by a faint yowl. You turn, she's 50 feet away, half her face snarling, the other weeping black tears. You blink, she's 30 feet away, claws flexing. Your cat bolts. You stumble, she's 10 feet away, her amber eye locked on you, her human mouth whispering your name. Water pools at her feet, creeping toward you. She's 5 feet away now, her feline half purring, her claws outstretched. Run? She'll chase. Hide? She'll sniff you out. The news once said she's after her grandson, but maybe she's after you too. Next time you hear dripping or your cat stares at nothing, think twice. Hong Kong Halmae's out there, a plane crash victim turned feline wraith, blending hitchhiker tales, backseat chills, and cursed relics into a story so big it hit the evening news. Half grandma, half cat, all terror. She's waiting by the water, her amber eye glinting, ready to drag you into her drowned world. There you go, legend of Hong Kong Halmae, chilling encounters and keep you on edge. Sleep tight. Please hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up. If like more of these stories, thank you for watching.